Cultivate leadership with formula. The disparity in leadership between the communist and nationalist armies. If you aspire to enhance your leadership skills, you will find it to be a challenging endeavor. However, there are methods to achieve this. Utilizing a leadership mnemonic is an effective approach. Allow me to provide an example of using a mnemonic. We all know that the reason why the People's Republic of China was established in 1949 was due to the Communist Party's army defeating the Nationalist Party's army. What did the Communist Army rely on to defeat the Nationalist Army? I have a simple answer. The Communist Army defeated the Nationalist Army by using a leadership mnemonic. What was the mnemonic? I saw it in a movie. When I was young, I watched movies depicting battles between the Communist and Nationalist armies, and I was deeply impressed by the following scene: Communist officers waving their pistols, charging at the forefront of their troops, shouting, "Comrades, follow me!" Nationalist officers, on the other hand, also waving their pistols, stood at the back of their troops, shouting, "Brothers, charge with me!" The Communist leadership mnemonic was, "Follow me!" while the Nationalist leadership mnemonic was, "Charge with me." Although there was only one word of difference, the implications were entirely different. Which mnemonic was more effective? I believe history has given us the answer. Words reveal the heart. The example of the Communist and Nationalist armies can also be used to answer the question, how can we quickly judge a person's leadership skills? How can we judge? One answer is to listen to what they say. There is an idiom called, "Words reveal the heart." We can judge a person's leadership skills by listening to them speak. Have you ever heard the saying, "Small victories are won by intelligence, great victories are won by virtue"? It sounds philosophical, doesn't it? Small victories are achieved through intelligence, while great victories are achieved through character. The 10 Commandments of Leadership. If leadership is like a college entrance exam, what subjects does it include? I will give you my answer, quoting a famous saying by Newton. "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." I have had the privilege of interviewing over a dozen renowned leadership experts worldwide. I have not only studied their major works but also had one-on-one conversations with them. I found that they have a significant consensus on leadership, which is that leadership is not a position but an action. I have already discussed this point in the previous lecture. What I have not mentioned is their consensus on the specific actions that constitute leadership, which is also largely agreed upon. Based on their consensus, I have summarized 10 actions that constitute leadership, which I call the 10 Commandments of Leadership. These include taking responsibility, solving problems, staying closely connected with the masses, telling stories, being a teacher, learning from failure, reflecting, thinking deeply, knowing oneself, and becoming oneself. These are the 10 subjects of the Leadership College Entrance Exam. An effective leader, or what I call a leader, must score high in at least several of these subjects. However, no leader can excel in all 10 subjects, as no one is perfect. Cultivating leadership through mnemonic recitation. The 10 Commandments of Leadership that I have summarized can also be called the 10 Practices of Leadership. Why do we call them the 10 Practices of Leadership? Simply put, these actions often require us to change our nature, so we must go through a process of turning iron into steel. Let me give you an example. Learning from failure is an important practice of leadership, but it is not our nature. In psychology, there is a phenomenon called loss aversion, which means that the pain of losing $10 is greater than the pleasure of gaining $10. This is our evolutionary nature, which makes us unwilling to take risks and afraid of failure. This nature helped us survive in evolution, but today it affects our ability to demonstrate leadership and take responsibility for solving problems. Leadership requires us to take risks, not be afraid of failure, and even be calm and happy after failure. This requires us to change our nature through practice. However, practice is not just blindly practicing. There is a method to practice. Using a leadership mnemonic is a good method. The mnemonic serves the purpose of reminding us to take the corresponding action at critical moments. This action is often not our instinct, so we need a mnemonic to remind us. I have summarized 10 important leadership mnemonics, each corresponding to one of the 10 practices of leadership. This course is based on these 10 leadership mnemonics. I will not only tell you what these 10 mnemonics are, but also explain the leadership practices behind them, why they are important, and how to use them specifically.